Greetings. This is Principal Kafele. And first and foremost, I want to salute, I want to congratulate the Orange High School seniors, the class of 2020. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Let me tell you something, and I'm just going to keep it real here. Me speaking to you through my laptop computer, this is awkward, but it's a whole lot of commencement speakers throughout the country that will be delivering pre-recorded graduation commencement speeches to high school seniors, to college seniors, etc., because this is where we are right now. We're in the midst of a global pandemic, coronavirus, COVID-19. You were tested this year. Make no mistake about it. You were tested in a way that no other class has ever been tested. I certainly have never endured anything like this in terms of being a student. I'm dealing with it as an adult. But as a student, this was radically different for you. So I'm saying to you that despite the challenges, the difficulties, the obstacles of 2020 as students, you still endured it. And here you are, graduating from Orange High School as a senior and moving on. Yes, there are uncertainties because you didn't have a complete year in the building, the brick and mortar as we call it. But you did complete it. You are earning a diploma and you will transition to your next level. The uncertainties are the pandemic is still here. The virus is still here. So we're still dealing with that. But then in addition to that, here we are. I'm recording this on May 30th. Here we are in the midst of national social unrest. And I will not politicize this message, but the reality is this is what we're dealing with right now as well in the midst of graduation season. So I'm saying to you, I will say to you, I won't politicize, but I'll say this. As we're in the midst of social unrest nationally, I just want to remind you that you and we all have a role to play toward justice for everybody, toward justice for all. You and I have a role to play. So make sure that as you move forward with your life, you consider that it's not just about you, but it's about the masses of us. So we want to make sure that whatever it is you do with your life career-wise, that it impacts others favorably. And then there you are playing your role in terms of justice for all. And I'm going to kind of leave that right there. But you know, I think back, it's just as I think about your own graduation, I can't help but think about mine, which was many, many years ago. And on that particular day, I was excited. You know, I was excited that I finally reached the end of K-12 education. I'm finally turning the corner, moving on. But to be quite frank with you, I was uncertain. I didn't know what tomorrow held. I didn't know what doors were going to be open for me. I didn't know if I was going to be able to live my dream. I didn't know what the future held. And I know that there's somebody listening to this message right now, and you don't know what the future holds. I know that there are others who you're convinced you know what the future is. You know, you've got a game plan. You've got your goals. You understand your purpose. I know those individuals exist as well and who are watching this video. But there are others of us, despite whatever successes we experienced in school, we're still not particularly sure. We still don't know if we want to move this way, this way, this way, or this way. But here's the beauty to that. That's normal. That is completely, absolutely normal. I wouldn't even give it a second thought. All you do is keep striving to get to wherever it is that you want to be at some point in your life relative to your career. Have a game plan. Set goals, not just your long-term goals, but those short-term goals. What's the goal between today and next week at this time? What's the goal between today and next month, or today and the next 2 months, or today and the next 6 months? You've got to have those short incremental goals. Those are your stair steps to get you from here to here to here to here. You've got to set those goals. But then the difficult part, you've got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. You got to have a blueprint. What are you going to do to fill in the gaps between point A, where you are now, and point B, where you want to be within a week, within a month, within 6 months, within a year? You got to fill those gaps in. That's your plan. That's your strategy. That's your blueprint. You got to have a plan of action. You got to plan your success. Because if you don't plan your success, then you're just kind of wandering out there. You got to have a roadmap. Society will plan it for you, and it may not be the plan that you want. So you got to have a roadmap to your success, and then you've got to live that map. That may require you making some very drastic decisions. You may have to have to cut off some relationships, some friendships of people who are not moving in similar directions, who may be moving in directions that get you making the wrong decisions. And I don't mean necessarily bad decisions, but I mean wrong decisions in terms of you moving in the right direction, although they could be bad decisions in terms of your lifelong goals. So you got to assess you. You've got to evaluate you, and you've got to assess and evaluate the people around you. And you want to make sure that you surround yourselves with people of like thinking, people of like mind, people who are ambitious, just like you. Because again, if you're surrounding yourselves with people who lack ambition and people who are content with average, content with mediocrity, content with just being complacent, then those are not the people who are going to soar with you. Those are not the people who are going to help you soar, who are going to push you to soar. So you got to evaluate that. That's just critical. And when I say success, I give success a definition. I gave it a definition. I say success is simply the ability to live one's own life on one's own terms. Let me say that again. Success is the ability to live one's own life on one's own terms. So in other words, I'm saying to you, you're not going to wait for someone to define success for you in terms of your life. You're going to define it for yourself and do that which you want to do, that which you conceptualize that this is what I want to do. Not society saying this is all we got for you. So you've got to chart your own course. You've got to determine your own destiny. You've got to define your own success. So in doing so, and as I close, I implore you to take these 5 simple words and make them a part of you. Number 1, belief. You've got to believe in you when there's no one else out there that does. Number 2, purpose. You've got to have a why. You've got to be about something. You've got to be about being successful, but you got to be about something even greater than you as an individual. Number 3, obligation. I'm saying to you that this is not a negotiation. You have an obligation to be the best version of yourselves daily. That's your responsibility. That's your obligation. Number 4, determination. That means you got to have the drive. You got to have the ambition. You got to have the passion to want to see yourself and then work the plan toward being that person that you conceptualize you can be as it relates to your career. And then the final word, vision. When I say vision, I mean you got to see it before you take the first step. Before you take the first step on your journey, you have got to see yourself already in the driver's seat. So belief, purpose, obligation, determination, and vision. Hey, class of 2020, Orange High School seniors. Again, as I opened, I closed the same way. I salute you. I congratulate you. I commend you. But I encourage you to strive to be the best version of yourselves for the remainder of your lives. With that said, I thank you for this opportunity.
Good evening. My name is Jason Belton, proud principal of Orange High School. To the Honorable Mayor Warren, Superintendent of Orange Public Schools, Dr. Fishew, members of the Board of Education, staff of Orange High School, parents, guardians, community members, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2020. Welcome. To the graduating class of 2020. Tonight, I will address what has made this year historic. But I want to speak to you personally about why it has made you resilient, and more importantly, tell you to keep moving forward. The new decade began with the untimely death of a basketball legend, the impeachment trial of a president in an election year, where for the first time, many of you will have the ability to vote. The world is challenged with poverty, racism, and global inequalities. Despite it all, you have shown resilience and kept moving forward. Although none of you created these problems, they are here, and the world needs the resilience of our class of 2020 to contribute to the solution. While the traditions and celebrations of your graduating class have been altered by the events of the present, they do not dictate your achievements in the future. Your generation's ability to keep moving forward will help impact the problems of racism, police brutality, poverty, homelessness, and unjust immigration laws. Your goal should be to create the vaccines against the very viruses that have altered our lives past and present. The world will acknowledge the class of 2020 for their past sacrifices and participation in the solutions for our future. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, be the solution. Former President Barack Obama explained, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time." We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. However, before we expect to see change in others and change in the world, we must be willing to demonstrate change in our own thoughts and actions. Tell yourself, if I want others to be better, I must be better. If I want people to treat others with respect, I must respect others. If I want my community to behave in a certain way, I must be that example. If I expect people to stand up when they see injustices, then I must take a stand. Speak loudly for those with no voice. You must spend your time reading and speaking the truth. Take the time to speak to your elders as well as the youth. Gain perspective and learn to combat dishonesty and embrace the fight for truth. Knowledge is not only found in academic institutions, it is everywhere, and it is the one thing that can never be taken away from you. Revolutionaries do not wait for the opportune time to start. They jump right in and take action. I implore you to start today. You are the next Thurgood Marshall, Katherine Johnson, Cesar Chavez, and Sonia Sotomayor. You are the new innovators, activists, and revolutionaries of our future. You don't need a degree to come back to Orange to become a mentor or a tutor. You don't have to wait for a professor to tell you what to read. Acquire knowledge for your own benefit, not a grade. You don't have to go to law school to change laws or be a doctor to save lives. Your journey is your own and your contributions matter. Whatever you invest your time and energy into, remember your community and pay it forward. Start today, not tomorrow. As I close, I want to remind you not to focus on what you lost. My heart goes out to what you have endured, and I could not be prouder of this graduating class. Know that you will have celebrations and successes far surpassing prom or a senior trip. Many of you are the first in your families to be accepted to college, the first to meet the academic requirements to enlist in the United States Armed Forces, the first to begin the groundwork for a successful career through technical school training. I am so proud of what you have accomplished. Graduating high school represents your journey into adulthood. Class of 2020, keep moving forward, and remember, we are proud, we are one, we are tornadoes.
It is my distinct pleasure to extend a statement of congratulations to the Orange High School senior class of 2020. As my first graduating class in my role as superintendent of schools, you will always hold a special place within my being. I know that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many of the activities and senior moments were cut short, but thankfully, we are all safe. I do feel badly that the year ended abruptly, but I am hopeful you know that would never stop our support of you. as the high school administration, alongside me, planned graduation options, we wanted to ensure that each of you had a lasting positive memory as a senior at Orange High School. You are important to the entire school community, and our intent remains for you to feel that way as you walk away from Orange High School. And of course, I couldn't be prouder of all of you in the graduating class of 2020, as well as the teachers, the support staff, and the coaches, but most of all, the parents, guardians, caretakers, and family members that have guided you along the way from pre-kindergarten to senior year. Now graduating is a huge achievement under any circumstance. Some of you have had to overcome serious obstacles along the way, whether it was an illness or a parent losing a job or living in a neighborhood where people too often counted you out. I have been there. I knew it was important to push so that I could show all those that did not believe in me that they would ultimately believe. Along with the usual challenges of growing up, all of you have had to deal with added pressures of social media in a world that has a tempering climate where you have to always be mindful of your words and your actions. And then, just as you're ready to celebrate having made it through high school, just as you've been looking forward to proms and graduation ceremonies, and let's face it, a whole bunch of parties, the world is turned upside down by a global pandemic. And as much as I am sure you love your parents and guardians, I am certain that being home for the majority of the second half of your senior year was not exactly how you envisioned the moments leading up to your graduation. I will share this with you. Your graduation marks your passage into adulthood, the time when you begin to take charge of your own life. It is when you decide what is important to you, the kind of career you want to pursue, where you will live, who you want to build a family with, the schooling choices that will ultimately define how you will move financially in life, and finally the values you want to live by. And given the current state of the world, that may be kind of scary. Just know that you are not in this alone. This is how the world is shaped today, and that is just real talk. I must tell you, the decisions that you make now will have the largest impact on you in the next 20 years and beyond. So I have to implore you, when it comes to social media, think logically what you are posting. There have been many, many people who have lost their marketability based on a post or a tweet. With all the challenges this country faces right now, no one can tell you you are too young to understand, or this is how it has always been done. With so much uncertainty, with everything that's suddenly up for grabs, this is your generation's world to shape. And each of us in the school district believe you can. Shape it in the positive so those that come after you can benefit from your leadership. Always remember, our community is counting on you to reinvest, reinvigorate, and return to Orange Township. Your ability to make this community great is within each of you. I am hopeful that you are proud of the great things accomplished throughout your high school experience. I believe that the following quote is the most appropriate words of wisdom that I, your superintendent of schools, can offer you as you close the door on your high school life and thus embark on the new and exciting experiences, whether it be moving to the collegiate level, the workforce, or the Navy Army. We do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside of ourselves. We have the power to imagine better. You have obtained a foundation within the Orange Township Public School District. You are now in charge of your destiny. It is critical that every decision that you make is well thought out. Always remember that your extended family within the Orange Township Public School District will always be here for you. Always know you are tornado through and through. You hold every facet of why the mantra for the Orange Township Public School District is good to great. You have made me proud, as well as the entire school community. Good luck to the class of 2020 in your quest for continued success.
Good evening, parents, families, staff, administrators, fellow board members, Orange residents, and most importantly, the 2020 graduates of Orange High School. I'd like to start off my address to you by first saying, wow, this has been an incredible journey for me to be here addressing you on your special day. I am currently serving my third year as an Orange School Board member. During my first 2 years, after being the first ever elected member to the Orange School Board, the greatest joy for me was not only having the pleasure of my children attend school here in the Orange Public School System, but also having the opportunity to attend the 2018 and 2019 graduation ceremonies. It was so wonderful to see and greet all of those amazing graduates as they received their well-deserved diplomas. Now, in 2020, not only do I have the privilege of attending my third graduation ceremony, I get to be present at this virtual podium to address all of Orange Township's successful graduates as school board president. I almost feel like a sports fan who starts out buying tickets in the top level of an arena, and after time, I work my way down the stands, section by section, until I'm finally able to purchase a seat that gives me an up-close view of the superstars of the event. All of you, class of 2020 graduates, are unquestionably the superstars that I've come to see. All of you are the biggest superstars of Orange Township. And this year, I had one of the best seats in the house while witnessing you all achieve your first grade accomplishment in your bright futures. All of you now have the opportunity to forge and navigate the paths of your own choosing. But every graduate must remember that it's not the path you choose to take. It's how much you are willing to work hard and how much you are determined to reach your goal. With that being said, along with all of the advice you will receive before you start your new journeys, I've learned that there is one thing that all people should always remember to do throughout their lives. Always upgrade your vehicles while you're traveling. Now, let me explain what I mean in a bit more detail. Upgrading your vehicle could mean the obvious, but that isn't the type of vehicle I'm referring to. Two of the most important vehicles to success that you should never be afraid to upgrade are: one, your educational institution, and two, your job. Those two vehicles are the ones that will undoubtedly assist you in reaching your goals. Entering college or trade school for the first time, remember that everything involving your education can always be upgraded. That may mean upgrading the instructors you choose. Don't be afraid to upgrade to a different instructor that can assist you in getting the most out of the courses you take. You may also have to upgrade your student counselors. Make sure you are getting the best guidance. And if all of those vehicle upgrades don't work for you, never be afraid to transfer to a different school. Time is short and money does not grow on trees. This will not be high school. Your next educational institutions will cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So please be mindful of the education you are paying for. Make sure you are receiving the absolute best preparation for what comes next in your lives. This other vehicle that I never want you to be afraid to upgrade is your place of employment. Now, that's not as easy as it sounds. I'm sure it will be very exciting to be hired for the first time in the field that you worked and studied so hard for. So please make every attempt to enjoy that new vehicle. Just stay true to yourselves and keep reminding yourselves of the path you're on and your ultimate goals. But please know yourself and know your worth. Some may not appreciate your light and how bright it is, but you always have control of how long you stay in any environment. You always have options. Upgrade that job vehicle and try to change departments at your job if necessary. Upgrade and consider changing locations if your job has multiple sites, or you may even have to consider changing jobs altogether. But most of all, never, ever be afraid to speak up for yourselves if deliberate obstacles are being laid on your paths. You are all incredibly talented and extremely valuable persons. You are all worthy of every good thing that this world has for you. If you take some time to truly consider this philosophy, it makes you more powerful, and it makes others realize that your worth and your life path are not determined by them or any others. All of you, all that you are, is always enough to accomplish and achieve your ultimate life goals. In closing, I would like to again say that it has been an honor serving as your school board president. Thank you to the administration and staff that have worked so hard to make this year come to a very bright ending, despite some of the things the world is currently tackling. Congratulations to the proud parents, family, friends, and neighbors of the graduates. And most of all, congratulations to the Orange High School graduating class of 2020. You all deserve every good thing that will come your way. Thank you.
Congratulations to the class of 2020 Orange High School. You have come a long way and defeated every odd. It was your grace, your determination, your ability to stick to the task that brought you this far. Your life is going to be rich and you'll have many more accomplishments. From the entire city of Orange Township, I, your mayor, Dwayne Warren, do congratulate you, wish you many, many more, and congratulations for defeating the coronavirus.
I bring greetings to Mayor Warren, our Superintendent of School, Dr. Fitzhugh, the Orange Board of Education, District Administrators, OHS Principal, Mr. Belton, House 12 Administrator, Ms. Halstead, the entire OHS administrative team, faculty and staff, parents, family, friends, and the class of 2020. As presented, I am Zarina Gofak, salutatorian and most importantly, a member of the OHS graduating class of 2020. Orange High School has played an enormous part in me accepting myself for who I am today. From my teachers, to my fellow students, to my friends, they've all taught me in very unique ways. They taught me to be myself and to always find joy. For that I say thank you. Throughout my high school career, I saw so many of my fellow classmates truly enjoying their high school experience. Yes, learning is always going on, but I also saw the random dancing in the hallways, heard the joyful shouting, the students singing while hyping themselves up. It was this typical expression of happiness that made my time at Orange High School so memorable. Maybe some other hallways in some other place will be unaccepting of such expression, but not here. Here, our noise is partly simple teenagers enjoying their high school years, making the best of their time with their friends without pretense. But it is in other ways much bigger than that. It is our preparation for using our voices to fill silent places, of exercising our ability and right to be exactly who we want and need to be in this world. We are not a silent generation. This and numerous other situations that have occurred in my life have taught me that I should stay authentic and true to myself, because being myself will only bring long-term benefit in my life. Throughout our lives, places, people, and even society itself may try to contain our behavior. shape us into something else, something outside our beliefs. And this, I imagine, will sometimes be difficult to overcome. But my hope for each and every one of you is that you will hold on and never let anyone mold you into anything you do not wish to be. Up until recently, I had never gone to a school party because despite the flyers, announcements, and encouragement from my peers, I felt like parties just were not my kind of scene. It wasn't until I was practically forced to go to a party that I truly understood a friend's advice about making the party my own. To have fun, all I really needed was a good set of friends and a grateful attitude. I made the party fun in my own way. We did not know everybody, nor did we talk to everyone. But we were just together, having fun in our own way. This may be different from another person's way of having fun, but that is not important. What was important was that it was fun for us, and that we made great memories. Orange High School helped me. OHS members helped me. They helped shape me in a positive way because they were being themselves and encouraged me to be myself. And for that, I hope that each and every single one of you will continue or start being true to yourselves. Because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, when you have spent your whole life being yourself, just being you, you will be happier for it. We may all have regrets at the end, but we don't have to allow one of those regrets. We should not allow a single one of those regrets to be about not being our authentic selves.
To the Orange Board of Education, our Honorable Mayor Warren, to our esteemed Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gerald Fitzhugh II, to our revered OHS Principal, Mr. Jason Belton, to our administrators, teachers, staff, friends, family, and especially to my peers, the graduating class of 2020, good evening. I want to take this moment to offer a huge congratulations to the tenacious class of 2020 for making it this far. Like many of you, I wasn't completely sure this day would come. For the past 3 months, it seemed like the odds were stacked against us. No senior trip, no Six Flags trip, no prom. These last few months were supposed to be the most memorable, the most exciting, and the most rewarding months of our entire high school career. But we were faced with unforeseen circumstances that would change everything. My heart goes out to all those affected directly and indirectly by the COVID-19 pandemic. We must not forget that we are all stronger because of this experience. I'd like to share my own story of finding strength through adversity. Being quarantined, unable to see my friends or finish my high school athletic career, and switching to remote learning taught me a lot about self-discipline. For a long time since I started high school, I struggled with my mental health, as many of you might have as well. At first, I didn't know what to call it or what to do about it. I'd ignore it, post a few quotes on Instagram, and continue my day. Since freshman year, I've been involved in a number of activities, strategically planning out every hour of my day to fit them all, but usually, somehow, forgetting to fit in time for myself. I got sucked up in trying to balance volunteer work, sports, a club, a job, an A average, and a social life. It felt like this perpetual vacuum of responsibilities. I would go home exhausted and drained. My room no longer felt like a safe space, but more like a motel, just somewhere to sleep and spend the night until the morning. I was always surrounded by people during the day, but by evening, I felt lonely and unmotivated to do simple things. I procrastinated more than I ever had, and honestly, I couldn't bring myself to enjoy anything anymore because everything just felt like a chore. Part of me tried to convince myself that nothing mattered anymore. My grades, my responsibility, the sports I played. I even went back and forth with myself about whether college was the right choice for me, and if not, what other options I had. I wanted to just lay in bed all day and never have to stress about another paper or game again. But deep down inside, I knew that wasn't me. I knew for the past 3 years, I busted every bone in my body to get to where I am today, where we are. The all-nighters, the late practices, the after-school tutoring, the early morning classes. In my heart, I didn't want to give it all up and throw it all away. My mind and body were pulling me into this depression that I wasn't sure I could get out of. However, on one particular day, as I was questioning and doubting and stressing, the very sweet and deeply caring Mr. Pope, whom we all know and love, handed me a small envelope with a card in it. The card read, "Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even though you don't want to do it." Those words were exactly what I needed to hear, and exactly what got me up off my bed and feeling like myself again. I didn't want to sit back and watch all my dreams slip through my fingers. I knew I was so close to accomplishing something huge, something that will be the first step towards the rest of my life. So I say to you today, whether you are a varsity captain of this sport or a president of that club, or whether you almost failed this class or proudly won that award, remind yourself that you did what needed to be done, even though you didn't always want to do it. You rolled yourself out of bed in the morning and you came to school. You earned your credit, finished your hours, and you met with your counselors. It seems so easy to doubt yourself in tough times and discount your achievements. So easy to compare yourself to someone else. But you must be proud of yourself. Be proud of everything that's led you to where you are today. Be proud of pushing through everything and anything that stood in your way these past few months and these past 3 years. Be proud to be a mother, an athlete, a president, a fashion designer, a singer, an artist, or a dancer. No matter what you call yourself or what category you fall into, be proud and own it. For many of us, we will be the first in our families to graduate high school. For even more of us, we will be the first to go to college, the Army, trade school, and technical school. Our standards are higher than ever because this class doesn't settle for less, or even the bare minimum. Even after everything seemed over for the class of 2020, we proved again and again our resilience, determination, and discipline. We pushed through the hard times, and we showed everyone who doubted us and looked at us with pity that our spirits weren't so easily broken. So when you look back at your years at Orange High, when you think of the administrators, teachers, or coaches that helped you along your journey, when you remember the pep rallies, the assemblies, the guest speakers, when you remember your favorite class and your least favorite class, when you remember the field trips and college visits, remember how you lived your journey, because your story is unique and the reason you are where you are today. We did it. We really did it. All of the Instagram countdowns are finally at 0. It's not exactly what we planned, but it is only what we make of it. So don't be angry, don't be upset, don't look for someone to blame. We are here, and that's all that matters now. To the class of 2020, it's been a crazy, unpredictable, and wild ride, but it's finally coming to an end. And it is time for us to look to a bright future ahead. Congrats. Things are only going to get better from here.
It is with great pleasure that I present the candidates for the 2020 graduating class. I am pleased to confirm that the Orange High School graduating class of 2020 has met the necessary prerequisites and requirements as stipulated by the state of New Jersey, the Department of Education, and the Orange Board of Education for graduation and eligibility. Dr. Fishew, I ask that you accept this recommendation and honor our graduates with the conferral of their New Jersey High School diploma. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that I present the graduating class of 2020.
It is with great pleasure that I receive the candidates for graduation. It is with great pride that I accept your confirmation that the Orange High School graduating class of 2020 has met all necessary prerequisites and requirements as stipulated by the state of New Jersey, the New Jersey Department of Education, and the Orange Board of Education's graduation eligibility. Further, I accept your recommendation and will honor the graduates with conferral of their New Jersey High School diploma. Orange Board of Education members, Mr. Mayor, City Council members, teachers, families, and friends, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the graduating class of 2020.
Graduating class of 2020. By the power vested in me by the state of New Jersey, I now pronounce you graduates of Orange High School. Please move your tassels from right to the left. My name is Jason Belton, and I am the proud principal of Orange High School. We welcome you to the graduation processional drive-through for the Orange High School graduating class of 2020. This has been a turbulent year with the onset of a global pandemic, as well as the rise of protests and fight for civil rights throughout our nation. Even while we continue to battle situations, we are here tonight to celebrate our seniors who continue to press forward. This senior class of OHS has earned over $18 million in scholarship. Can we recognize that? I wish to thank the Board of Education, Mayor Warren, and the Township Police and Fire Departments for your assistance with this event tonight. We are grateful for your service to our community. Can we please give a round of applause to the Police and the Fire Department? Without any further ado, I present to you Ms. Marcy Thomas, teacher of English at Orange High School. She will begin the roll call of those seniors who completed the requirements to obtain an Orange High School diploma. And remember, we are proud, we are one, we are tornadoes. Thank you. Good.
Liz Marles Acosta. Cristobal Octiopan. Brianna Adams. Renato Aguayo Izquierdo. Leslie Aguilar. Jeffrey Aguilar Sarmiento. Kabir Ahmed. Jaden Alexander. David Alonzo Lopez. Ludmi Altima. Shamar Anderson. Tatiana Arana Solis. Angela Arias Rivas. Jahim Aziz. Chris Azor. Amanda Bachan. Inetta Baines. Willie Bararona. Joseph Barbu. Stephanie Barnave. Devin Barnes. Danica Bartley. Andre Beaumont. AJ Beckford. Diana Beltran. Tiana Bennett. Savian Blair. Kaysan Blakewood. Javier Booknight. Tanaj Brown Benjamin. Isaiah Brown. Jafari Brown. Ashanti Burton. Zakeem Burton. Merkinson Kador. Andrea Calderon Alvarenga. Christian Calderon Velata. Leslie Cambisaka Serrano. Augustina Campagna Rubiles. Deshaun Campbell. Andres Karangi. Myra Carbajal Gomez. Andrea Lucia Carrera. Maria Castro. Ashley Narissa Charles. Cynthia Charles. Ludine Charles. Jose Ro Chavez. Alicia Chaves. Shedley Sharon Font. Skyla Sharon Font. Sean Clark. Tariq Clark. Zanaya Cobb. Jared Collis. Justin Cook. Angel Correa. Jaleel Cox. Randy Crisostomo Dominguez. Brittany Cunningham. Taisha Damus. Tanija Darling. Devonte Davis. Noah Davis. Liz Dela Cruz. Christian Dela Roca. Anthony Dela Rosa. Angelica Diolio Valentin. Joseph Destin. Emily Diaz. Ruth Deeg. Ermelie Dorsey. Jerry Dorselli. Jeff Dorsainville. Brianna Douglas. Jeff Lee LEC. Valence Etienne. Naziah Felix. Cheyenne Felix. Carla Flores Martinez. Paulina Flores Poches. Chris Flores. Sabrina Flores. David Fontanez. Nafisa Forrester. Mark Francois. Yajera Funes Martinez. Carla Fernanda Galeano Zuleta. Sori Garcia. Jessnerson Garcon. Janisa Jody Ann Geohagen. Reynaldo Giles. Nicholas Alex Giddens. Jasmine Michaela Gloud. Carl Gloud. Jayshawn Golden. Caitlin Gomez. Marshana Shanta Goulburn. Julian Rolando Grande. Alcoan Liam Green. Christian Guadalupe Cabrera. Itzel Aylin Guelpa. Daniela Lisbeth Guaman. Irvin Santiago Guaman. Zarina Guafak. Miriam W. Haiti. Nia Hargrove. Takaya Alicia Head. India Imani Henry. Roberto Hernandez. Wendy Carolina Hernandez. Ashley Hertilian. Shatrice Hertilian. Erica Holmes. Samar House Taylor. Cynthia Hugo. Katiana Isaac. Anaya Samantha Isaacs. Coralie Jacques. Santia Jean Baptiste. Henderson Jean. Jaylene Jean. Shakri Lavar Jean Lewis. April Jimenez Javier. Jeremy Jimenez. Robert Jimenez. David Johnson Guzman. Devonay Johnson. Tiara Johnson. Anais Joseph. Cynthia Cabor. Rennie LaFortune. Brianna Larson. Zyvion Lathan. Nasir Lawrence. Steve Lazaire. Janaea LaGreer Johnson. Haiti Lima. Natalia Lima. Kevin Lemus. Michael Leon Roldan. Michela Lewis. Taya Janae Luder. Mario Liadi. Hodio Liadi. Renaya Lingham. Giovanni Lockhart. Guillaume Loiseau. Emily Lopez de los Santos. Alexandra Lewis. Alicia Lovell. Latasia Lovett. Isserance Lubin. Renee Maldonado. Camille Malone. Nizik Mann. Karina Martinez Rivera. Chelsea Mazama. Malaysia Monet McBean. Devin McKay. Amaya McMillan. Katie Menjivar. Loverly Mercier. Miffy Love Milord. Jeremy Mora. Dalia Morocho Pokar. Ronald Morocho Pokar. Diana Morocho. Jessica Morocho. Quaison Morris. Mufi Neblet. George Nira Torres. Derlins Noel June. Asia Norman. Miracle George Obi. Isaiah Odunsi. Xavier Ogini. Victoria Ogunbecken. Onyinye Okafor. Ojibeka Onyuke. Keisha Opoku. Edison Orima. Sarah Orima. Slomi Ortega. Christian Josue Ortiz Arevalo. Marina Osorio. Anthony Ozoria. Derek Anthony Page. Nastasia Paisley. Josue Panteleon. Romaine Parker. Leaster Parkinson. Sheila Patino Vera. Lorvens Paul. Giovanni Peterkin. Christopher Philemon. Stanley Pierre. Stacy Prevalon. Mullen Quay. Atisha Quinn. Eleazar Ramos Ramirez. Lasna Raymond. Stephanie Racinos Morales. Hassan Ridley. Jeremy Riera Paredes, Alexis Takesha Robinson, China Amina Robinson, Marbelli Roca Estrada, Crystal Marie Rodriguez, Dylan Facundo Rodriguez, Roxana Alexandra Rodriguez, Aminata Hussein Rogers, Larry Brandon Rojas Perez, Kathy Judith Sateros, Larissa St. Cyrus, Brian St. Vry, Lentz St. Vry, Alfredo Daniel Sanchez, Quaison Sandy, Josiah Kanasia Foot Scott, Myjanae Scott, Sean Scene Sharp, Kason Smart, Jahad Najee Smith, Quadir Smith, Erdens St. Villian, Dante Stokes, Talia Swain, Jade Smart, Sabrina Teal, Dennis Byron Tekken Mendez, Walter Oswaldo Tekken Mendez, Emily Christine Tejada Rosario, Kimberly Lisette Tenekala, Daniel Jacob Tenorio, Brianna Thomas, Dewan Thomas, Elijah Jihad Thompson, Emilio Oden Tikan Salazar, Jade Toussaint, Kayla Toussaint, Jefferson Tunis, Chimezi Uguaha, Luis Eduardo Olia Flores, Nicole Erde, Emily Arena, Yesenia Alejandra Urias, Juan Carlos Varela Pinzon, Everson Gabriel Velez, Janet Verdugo, Selvin Vileda Guardado, Marvin Deshaun Walker, Zanaya Antoinette Walton, Darius Antonio Williams, Kiara Nicole Williams, Tiara Monique Williams, Tymea Williams, Brandon John Weinkoff, Sierra Alexandria Wright, Sanjay Elvis Martini Wright, Lionel Yepes Lashira, Jessica Liliana Zuniga. This concludes the roll call of senior candidates for the Orange High School class of 2020.
They said, "Fuck that letter."